Hello everyone, it's Max for Evike Europe Studios. Today we'll talk about a topic that may have scared many beginners before they even started playing Airsoft for the first time. Most of the time, guys and girls discover Airsoft thanks to the internet, through videos or social networks, or thanks to a friend who already is an Airsofter. But after deciding to take the plunge, some of us run into a problem. How do I find a skirmish? Where do I play? I want to know. Well, first, you've got to keep calm and quiet, and then watch this video. In this video, we'll see how to carefully pick the right place and the right sidekicks to play your first skirmish and have a great first Airsoft experience. And to begin, you've got to decide your game type of choice. Airsoft is played in many different ways, from those who preach the sporty side of the discipline to those who are more into the role-playing school. It is important to determine which aspect of Airsoft attracts you the most, and thus do not make the mistake of starting on field where players do not share the same aspirations as you, as it will give you a biased view of the hobby. First type of Airsoft skirmish is casual gaming. This is the most commonly practiced game type in Airsoft, especially within clubs, and it's probably the most balanced between the sporting aspect and the immersive one. A typical casual skirmish day is broken down into several small skirmishes, whose scenarios are inspired by those commonly found in multiplayer video games. Team deathmatch, capture the flag, rush, escort the VIP, plant or defuse the bomb, etc. Some scenarios may be a little bit more complicated, with some basic role-playing being implemented. Casual gaming being not very demanding, everyone can come equipped as he or she prefers. Now let's talk about Speedsoft, and this guy is running everywhere with flashy Airsoft guns. Speedsoft is a derivative of Airsoft and is very similar to paintball in its practice, in its clothing and in its codes. As its name implies, it emphasizes on speed, lots of running, jumping, Airsoft guns with high rate of fire and high capacity magazines, etc. So yeah, it's all speed and not much soft. Very sporty. Speedsoft is usually practiced in sporting clothes with a full face mask to effectively protect the entire head and very light and optimized equipment. These scenarios are generally identical to those of casual gaming, but you better move that sick body of yours if you wanna win the game. There's no place for lazy players here. Now we'll take a look at the last commonly found Airsoft game type, I named immersive gaming. Immersive gaming favors the realistic aspect of Airsoft, sometimes being a true live-action role-play event, or LARP. Players will favor longer and more complex scenarios, even simulating small-scale military operations with over 1,000 participants. This is called MILSIM, or military simulation. The loadout of each player is inspired by that of real fighters, and sometimes even goes so far as to reproduce very faithfully that of real units. Ça pourrait être pas mal. Yeah, they are true nerds, but not the kind to debate about which D&D character has the better stats or to find an answer to the Fermi paradox. Fermi! I'm a US Army combat specialist from the 10th Mountain Division, circa 2010. Climb to glory! Ooh-ah! My wife just left me for doing that. Now that you have decided on your favorite game type, the question arises as to where to play. There are many places to play in all over Europe, and you can move freely from one to another, but you still have to find them. Luckily, with the advent of Web 2.0 and social networks, this should be an easy task if you know what you're looking for. And we both know that you're good at finding what you're looking for on the internet, don't you? What's the other purpose of the internet but buying Airsoft guns on Evike Europe? Don't share your answer in the comments, please. Most of the skirmish fields in Europe are owned by teams or clubs, which own or rent a more or less large plot of land that they eventually customize to their tastes. These teams and clubs can easily be contacted, either directly or via national or local Facebook groups dedicated to Airsoft. As a general rule, they are welcoming to beginners. but may limit the number of skirmishes per year and ask you to join after a certain period of time, so that you contribute to their expenses to maintain the field. In the last decade, professional instructors have started to emerge all over Europe. They offer paying skirmishes, sometimes well scripted and with game accessories, in a legal framework. Depending on the organizer or the manager, the services will vary. From simple small casual or speed-soft skirmish to the big mil-sim scenario that lasts all day. The choice is yours, but it will mostly depend on what you can find around your place. Wait a second, you're curious. Did you think I was going to share my experience with you without asking you to subscribe to this channel and click on the little bell? Oh, naive of you! Just do it! Now you can officially pretend to be my buddy. I'll answer your call, and wherever you're from, I'll come to you and we'll play skirmishes every weekend. You won't be alone anymore. My wife just dumped me a second time. That's it. You know what game type you like and you've got one or several fields where you can practice it. Now you just have to decide if you prefer to play Airsoft solo, eventually joining a team or a club later on, or if you are more the kind to play with a few selected friends. Playing solo is great for players who value discretion and flexibility, perhaps at the expense of their impact on the course of the skirmish. You only have to worry about yourself, both in choosing the skirmish field you want to go to and in your decisions during the game. You can still join a group during the game, for instance, if you find that an objective cannot be achieved on your own. Unless you're a true Rambo or a cheater. And if you know a few friends who are airsofters or interested in airsoft, you can still team up and play regularly with them. In games, the tactical advantage of a group of players playing regularly together and knowing each other will be quickly felt. It is also more enjoyable to rely on your own small team of friends, if you have some.
Am I not your friend, Max?
Shut up, Carl. We already discussed it with a psychologist, and you're just a product of my imagination.
If you say so, Max.
If you say so. Later on, you can recruit strangers and then become a club and eventually rent or even buy a plot of land to organize your own skirmishes on it, if you feel like it. With all these tips, you're now ready for your first skirmish. All that's left to do is to equip yourself for it. And it appears that EvikeEurope.com has a lot of stuff that could suit a beginner like you. What a chance! We have no doubt that you will find what you're looking for with us. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you won't miss any of our incoming videos. See you next time, buddies, and until then, play well.